your email address and we'll shoot one off to you and just keep you up to date on what's going on. And I will tell you, we have had parents on the fence that have decided to stay because that has involved them with what's been going on in K-5. Now, the phone call we just talked about. I mean, I've had the phone calls where it got to be a little much. Have you all had those kind of phone calls where, okay, she's calling again. I knew she was going to call. Have you ever been at school and thought, Mom's going to call me tonight? Mom, I'm getting a phone call. I'm going to Applebee's tonight. I'm not going to even be anywhere near the phone. I have, and this, again, all of this is so much easier if you set a certain foundation if you've got a good relationship with your parents to start with. Then you can say, look, and I tell parents, I want parents to think I'm not available. My door's open, I'm available, it gets back to this whole, we want the best for your child, we're a team kind of thing. But I set certain guidelines and parameters on when not to call, when it's too late to call, to remind people that I am a dad, I have a family, I have other things. So am I willing to talk to you about a concern? Absolutely. But it's going to sort of be under my control and under my ideas of how we need to, when we've had enough and when it's time. We're not getting anywhere now, we're just beating a dead horse to death. Let's just meet at school. And then be agreeable to meetings at school. And that one I'm always, if it's an active, I'll meet with a parent after school any day. Any day, no problem. And I mean, you do those things and then you've got a partnership. Encourage your parents to participate, and that gets back to what I said before about parents sometimes think, okay, I'm paying for this, so I should have to be as involved as little as humanly possible. But in field trips, room mothers, reading to your class, career day things, and make parents feel like they're welcome in your room. They're not welcome to stay in there all day, but they're welcome to stop by. And again, it's a service they're paying for. They're paying for a service. I mean, that would be like, having DirecTV, paying the guy to put it in. I bet you can't turn the TV on. Just have that on your flower bed to look at. Turn the TV on. So make them feel like they have some chance to interact with you or with your class. This is something I'm going to do this year for the first time, and I became aware of another class where teachers did a personality questionnaire on Parents' Night, and basically it kind of asked things like, what are specific things your child is interested in? What's their favorite snack? What activities do they participate in? Do they have any pets? How does your child like to nap? Yada yada, those kind of things. But that sort of sends a message right off the bat when you get started that I'm interested in your child's personal life, and I want to incorporate that in my classroom as much as possible, so it personalizes their experience for them. Ask parents. Parents will tell you real quick if they're not wanting to come to school. I always tell parents, if you have a child that's not wanting to get up and come to school, let me know immediately. And I've had that happen. One of them, a child was being bullied in the bathroom, got it taken care of the next day. One of them was some situation going at home that I was just made aware of, and that explains some things going on. But I always tell parents, if your child doesn't want to come to my class, we got serious, something's wrong. That's a red flag. I said, I want your child waking you up at 5 o'clock saying, let's go. I want to get to school. I had a parent email me one time that said, had a little boy named Whitman, and his dad emailed, I said, I have to just tell you this. He said, we got home from school, he went to after school, he said, we got home from school at 6, and Whitman said, I'm going to go back to school. Or let's go back to school. And he thought he forgot his book bag. He said, what do you need? He said, nothing, I just want to see Mr. Collins. And he said, I can remember good teachers and bad teachers. He said, but I never remember a teacher who made me want to go back to school at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. But I thought that was so awesome, and that's what I want. I set that up for myself as an expectation. But ask them how things are going. That can sometimes divert problems before they get to you. And remind them over and over again, guys, we're on the same team. That takes care of so many things. When you can sit down with a parent and say, look, this is what's going on. Let's come up with a solution. I mean, I like it to be almost like they're coming over and talking to their neighbor or talking to a family member. I mean, I want that sort of just disarmed communication where, and I tell you, it's just when you feel like, okay, I'm going into the teacher's room, I'm sitting in this chair, she's in that chair, and I feel like I'm already done something wrong because I'm up here. I don't want that tension. I want there to just be open, free communication and everything to be hunky-dory. And this is the last one, and I'll show you, is have solutions. Parents want teachers to have the answers to every one of life's problems that happen here in school. You are supposed to be the one that's on top of things. You are the professional. So there's supposed to be some area of expertise that you should have going into this. Parents are not teachers. A lot of parents are willing to do it. What I'm talking about here is where if you have an issue, let's talk for a minute more about an academic problem. Parents, if you go out there and tell a parent, y'all just need to do a couple of work, get your workbook at school aids and work on that, let them work on that. Parents don't know what to do with that. They're not trained in teaching. They have to be handheld over what to do. If there's something you want parents to do, instruct them what to do just like you would the child. And the way I do that on the times that's happened is I create an action plan. Create an action plan. And what I've done is actually cut and pasted an action plan I did for a student this past year. And just real quickly, what I've done, the only reason I put a blank so I don't put the student's name. But this student was having issues. She was a transfer, first-year student, but she's having a lot of learning issues. And not only the reading part, but she was even having trouble with where does your name go on the paper? Okay, we're going to look at the first problem. That kind of stuff. So we were really basic. So what I did with the parent, I brought them in. I had this laid out in writing, and I've got on there, set aside 20 minutes nightly for work on balance. Already I've set up a time schedule for them. Provided, look at the word, provided flashcards. I made flashcards on the computer for them and had those ready. Not you need to go out and buy flashcards. You know how long it took me to make those little letter cards? Maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes. But you know what did that parent? That showed I was committed to that child's success. If all it takes is 20 minutes of my personal time to help you, help them, I'm willing to do it. And I give specifics for the remaining 5 minutes, do this. And, parents don't know what a blend is. You've got to tell them, and I tell them, you've got to say book at bag. I was very specific. I walked them through what to do. And then I had gotten some extra worksheets, and I tell them on there, give specific instructions on how you want them to complete it. Do this one first, this one. Act like you're the teacher. So I instructed her what to do. Even showed her how she should praise the child. Now, a lot of this seems very obvious, but especially if you've got a dad, a single dad, had one of those, and he had a daughter, he was lost. And he was one, I will tell you, this was the year before this one, I had 3 students that I was concerned about out of 15. Right before Christmas, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I conferenced with all 3 of these families. Had an action plan, put it in place, and I'll have you know, this year in first grade, all 3 of those students made honor roll. Now that's more of a testimony of the first grade teacher than me, but it laid the groundwork. It got them over the hump that they not only squeaked by first grade, they excelled in first grade. And then this is what's important. You want to have something that's a throwback to you. I will also spend 10 minutes a day with your child one-on-one during centers, similar game, to let them know, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of proactive thing with this too. I'm expecting you to do some things, and I'm going to do some things. Because guess what? Again, we're a team. We're going to work together to get her over this issue. And then we'll reconference, and then we'll look and see how we're succeeding or failing, what we need to tweak. And you know what? That not